If you thought 2026 was going to be just another ordinary year for Lisa Manobal, the Thai-born woman who has become one of the most unforgettable names in the global entertainment industry, then you clearly haven't been paying close enough attention to her moves. Her name isn't just something that casually pops up on your social media feed every now and then. Lisa is a phenomenon that keeps moving, keeps growing, and apparently has no plans of slowing down anytime soon. And that's exactly where our story begins today. Seoul, May 12th, 2026. Under the flash of cameras and surrounded by jewelry worth billions, Lisa's name became the hottest topic of conversation, precisely because she wasn't there. Bulgari, the Italian luxury house that has spent over a century standing as an uncompromising symbol of opulence, threw one of their biggest events that night. The high jewelry global show for their latest collection, Eclectica, officially opened in Seoul, and this city wasn't chosen without reason. South Korea is one of the most aggressive fashion and beauty markets in Asia, and Bulgari knows exactly how to play that card. In attendance were a lineup of stunning faces already deeply familiar to K-pop fans and Korean drama enthusiasts. Kim Ji-won, the actress whose star has skyrocketed thanks to a string of hit dramas, and Jang Won-young, IV's centerpiece who over the past few years has successfully established herself as a new benchmark of aesthetics in the Korean idol industry. Both appeared breathtaking, each carrying a distinct aura, yet both equally reinforcing the message that Bulgari is dead serious about the Asian market. But among all the names present that evening, one name echoed even louder precisely because of its absence: Lisa. Before the event took place, various sources and rumors circulating in fan communities had sparked hope that the global face of Bulgari, a title Lisa holds, not as a mere brand ambassador, but as the most globally positioned face of the entire brand, would show up in Seoul and steal the spotlight the way she always does. But that night, Lisa's seat was empty. She didn't come, and the internet lost its mind. Don't picture Lisa's fanbase, affectionately known as Blinks, as some uniform, easily predictable crowd. Lisa's fan community is a complex entity spread across every corner of the globe, with perspectives that don't always align when it comes to reacting to their idol's decisions. That night proved no different. Some fans immediately voiced their disappointment. They had been anticipating Lisa's moment in Seoul, imagining the look she would pull off, the outfit that would inevitably go viral, the moments that would flood their timelines for days on end. That disappointment was real and completely understandable. But on the other side of the coin, a large portion of fans reacted in the complete opposite direction. They celebrated Lisa's absence as proof that this woman is now genuinely in control of her own career. Since officially parting ways with Blackpink to begin her solo journey under her own label, LLOUD, Lisa has visibly become far more selective about her public appearances and commitments. This isn't a diva throwing a tantrum or a difficult talent to manage. This is an artist who has risen to a level where she gets to choose, and that act of choosing has itself become part of her personal brand. She doesn't need to show up everywhere to dominate everywhere, wrote one fan on X, and the tweet racked up thousands of likes within hours. That's Lisa in 2026. And if you still have any doubt about just how significant Lisa's impact is on Bulgari, how massive her contribution to the brand is even without her physical presence in Seoul that night, then there's one person who will not allow you to stay in that doubt for very long. His name is Jean-Christophe Babin, CEO of Bulgari, and lately he's been speaking in a tone that almost sounds like a fan talking about their idol, just packaged in a far more polished and refined manner. Babin openly revealed that he was the person who most passionately pushed for Lisa's appointment as brand ambassador all the way back in 2020. 6 years ago, when the world had not yet fully grasped the magnitude of the explosion being quietly prepared by this young woman from Bvlgari, Thailand. "I champion this," was essentially the core of what Babin communicated. And he didn't say it in a vacuum, he said it with data. Lisa, Babin explained, has brought extraordinary impact to Bulgari. Not just the kind of impact you feel on the surface, not just a spike in social media followers or a bump in digital engagement metrics, but real, measurable impact that speaks directly to the bottom line of a luxury brand of Bulgari's caliber. And the most recent and striking proof of that impact came from one night that will undoubtedly continue to be talked about across the fashion and entertainment industries for years to come. Met Gala 2026. If there's one event on this planet that can serve as a barometer of a celebrity's power to move public attention and fuel the global media machine simultaneously, it is the Met Gala. Every year, the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York becomes the stage for an invisible yet very real competition. Who gets talked about the most, who generates the most coverage, whose name appears most frequently in headlines on Instagram, on TikTok, in every corner of the internet that human fingers can reach. And at Met Gala 2026, Lisa didn't just show up. She dominated. Not in a loud or excessive way, but in a manner far more devastating. Through numbers. Earned media value. This term might sound dry and technical, but its meaning is very concrete for anyone working in fashion and marketing. It's the estimated value of all media coverage generated by someone's presence at an event. Every article, every post, every video, every mention that wasn't paid for, that emerged organically because people genuinely wanted to talk about that person. At Met Gala 2026, Lisa recorded an earned media value of $19.7 million. That is not a small number. That is a statement. That is proof that Lisa is not simply a celebrity endorser whose face gets plastered on billboards and magazine ads. She is an attention machine operating with an efficiency that borders on the unreasonable. And she achieved all of that while simultaneously building her own solo empire. This is what makes Lisa's story in 2026 so compelling to follow. She is not choosing between loyalty to a brand and her artistic freedom. She is proving that both can coexist, even reinforce each other, as long as you know what you're doing and you hold full control over the direction you want to go. LLOUD is not just a label, it is a declaration of independence. And every decision Lisa has made since that label was founded is part of the larger narrative she is writing for herself. Her absence in Seoul that night can be read through the same lens. It doesn't mean her relationship with Bulgari is fractured or that there's tension happening behind the scenes. Quite the opposite. Babin himself spoke about Lisa with unmistakable pride, which means the relationship between the two remains strong and mutually beneficial. But Lisa is also preparing for something far bigger. Something that, in terms of scale and reach, could surpass even the Met Gala and a high jewelry show combined. June 12, 2026. Mark this date. Los Angeles will become the center of the world's attention, not just because of its ever-welcoming beach weather or because Hollywood always has a new story to tell, but because on that date, the FIFA World Cup 2026 will officially be opened. The opening ceremony. And Lisa has been confirmed as one of the performers at that historic moment. Alongside Katy Perry, one of the biggest names in the history of global pop music, Lisa will stand on a stage watched by hundreds of millions of eyes from every corner of the earth, live and through screens. Think about that for a moment. The FIFA World Cup is not just a football tournament. It is an event widely regarded as the most watched spectacle on the entire planet, surpassing even the Super Bowl, surpassing the Grammys, surpassing almost every other event you can name. Its opening ceremony is the single most valuable slot in the global entertainment calendar. And Lisa will be there, not as a guest, not as an audience member, as a headline performer. This is not a journey that just anyone can make. From Bvlgari, a small city in northeastern Thailand, to the opening ceremony stage of the World Cup in Los Angeles, this is a trajectory that even the most ambitious fiction writer might hesitate to put on paper because it sounds too dramatic to be real. But Lisa has made it real, one step at a time, through hard work that isn't always visible to the public, but whose results are undeniably clear for everyone to witness. Back to Seoul, to that buzzing night, to all the conversations about the presence that was absent. There is something deeply ironic but also genuinely beautiful about this dynamic. Lisa didn't need to be there to become the main topic. Her name was mentioned repeatedly by those who were present. Her trajectory was discussed by fans watching live coverage of the event. Babin's statements about her became widely circulated news. This is a level of influence that transcends physical presence, where even someone's absence is enough to dominate the narrative. And that is perhaps the most honest definition of what it truly means to be a genuine global star in this era. Not about how often you show up, but about how much gravitational pull you possess, the kind that keeps drawing attention toward you even when you're not in the room. Lisa has reached that point. More than that, she is moving beyond it, towards something even larger, something we will all witness together on June 12th in Los Angeles. So for those of you who were disappointed that Lisa didn't appear in Seoul that night, be patient. This woman is saving her energy for something far more monumental. And if her track record is anything to go by, what she is about to deliver on that World Cup stage won't just be a performance, it will be a moment. A moment that will be talked about long after the final whistle blows and the trophy has been lifted. Because that's what Lisa always does. She doesn't just show up, she leaves a mark.